Just already stop about this because we had so many questions about this.
Max, can you just describe for the rest of us what it feels like at this track when you have a car that's where you want it, just the feeling, the sensation in the cockpit?
Where you want it?
With the car operating like yours did today, clearly very well. Just the feeling and the sensation.
The sensation, well, I'm happy that I'm first. Yeah. I mean, maybe, yeah, if you want to drive the car, I can give it a go. I think you're going to poop your pants. Is that allowed to say in the press conference?
So what's the relation with the Tifosi?
Max, please.
Hey, honestly, it's been great. And actually, I had a funny story in qualifying where we were driving in the pits.
You got them too?
A lot of people were clapping. Then one guy, he was doing some different things to me, so I gave him the finger. And then the next time I came around, he was clapping. So, you know, they learn.
Side by side between the two rivals for the championship.
Now, the closest Lando got was at pit exit. Can you give us your view of what happened there?
Yeah, I think the grass was it was not really well cut on the right-hand side. So I think, Lando saw that as well. And he made sure that it was nicely cut.
Any more comments?
What do you want me to say?
Well, nothing. If that's it,
next
that's
question
it.
then.
Okay. Look, Max, where do we go?
Off to him.
But I mean, it's always if right. If my mom had balls, she would be my dad. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's how it goes to racing. Sometimes it works out for you, sometimes it doesn't.
By Stephen Ross, representing
Max, you were booed by some of the crowd before the race, and also on the podium after, I think, when you got your trophy. Why do you think that was, and does it have any effects on you?
I think if I would be driving in the back, nobody would be even doing anything in terms of reaction, right? I think it's normal when you're winning and they don't like who is winning. So is this something for me which is absolutely fine as long as I stand on the top? That's for me the most important. I take the trophy home and they go back to their houses and they can have a nice evening. I have a quick question here. I mean, I appreciate all of you being here, but I don't see any British press. They have to run to the airport, or they don't know where they don't know where the press conference is. You know?
That's a fair question. That's a fair question.
Finally from me, Max, can we get your reaction to the reprimand and the fine that you received from the stewards this morning?
It's quite a big fine, so I hope they have a nice dinner and a lot of wine. I hope good expensive wine, that would be nice. And they can invite me for dinner as well. I'll pay for that dinner too.
Do you have to pay it or the team?
I do have to pay.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so that's a little bit less FIFA points for me than on my laptop.
Helmut Marko says he fears your Red Bull exit. Why is he saying that?
I don't know.
So he's getting the wrong end of the stick. You're not thinking of leaving Red Bull at any time?
No, I think just focus on commentating. I'll focus on driving. And then, you don't need to think about any other scenarios.
We just worry about you.
Try again, this time on the inside, a continent touch! Verstappen is out of the race!
Question to Max. After the race, Lewis said that he was going to be in touch with you. I wanted to know whether indeed he did get in touch, whether he phoned you up, what did he say? And I also wanted to ask, what did you mean by disrespectful in terms of the celebrations, and what was your thinking behind that message that you put out? Thank you.
Yeah, he did call me. I don't need to go into details about that, but we did have a chat. And what do you mean with disrespectful when one guy is in the hospital and the other one is waving the flag around like nothing has happened? Well, you push the guy into the wall with 51 Gs. So, and not only that, just the whole reaction of the team. Besides that, I think that's not how you celebrate a win, especially a win how they got it. So. Yeah, that's what I found really disrespectful. And in a way, I mean, it shows how they really are. You know, it comes out after a pressured situation, but I wouldn't want to be seen like that.
Max, just on Lewis, he had some comments to say about you after the last race. Said he affords you more space than other drivers in fear of being torpedoed. There were some comments. Seb also
Torpedoed?
Yeah,
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, well, it was part of what he said. And I think Seb also said that he copy and pasted what Lewis had to say. So I was just wondering what your feeling is about those two comments.
I think from my side, it was a bit of a silly comment to make. It only shows that I'm in their heads, and I guess that's a good thing. I don't need to dig into other people in a press conference because, first of all, I think it's a bit disrespectful as well, and I prefer to fight on track.
Hello, this is Roldan Rodriguez from Dazón Spain. A question to Max. Last weekend, for the first time of the season, your teammate was in front of you in qualifying and then in the race and until the crash. I would like to understand, as you guys watch all the telemetry, where he was faster or adapting better to the car, at least in qualifying.
I don't know, man. Different setup. So as soon as I went into qualifying, I knew the car was.
Thank you, Max. Let's watch our language going forward. What did you change overnight? Because it seems there's been a big difference in performance, Illy.
A lot.
Can you elaborate in terms of what you've done?
No, I might get fined or get an extra day. So.
Well, look, are you confident, Max, with the race pace?
Maybe.
I mean, how much of a step into the unknown is the race, given the problems you had yesterday in practice?
It's an unknown. Yeah.
Tell us about lining up
This
along.
is not towards you, don't worry.
Okay.
I don't want to upset you.
We're fine, but can you just tell us about lining up alongside Lando then tomorrow in terms of the championship battle and your tactics in the race?
I will find out tomorrow.
All right, Max, thank you.
Luke Smith from The Athletic. Max, I know you won't elaborate on what the changes were, but how much of those changes were learning, I guess, from what happened in Baku, where you guys went in the wrong direction? And how much, what's the balance between, particularly at a street track like this, the driver getting the most out of the car in those sections or those breakthroughs with the car?
I would prefer if you ask these questions outside the room.
Andrew Benson, BBC Sport. One for Max and then one for Lando and Lewis. Max, will you talk to us outside the room? Because technically there's not yeah, okay.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
And then Lando and Lewis, what do you think about Max being given community service effectively for what he said on Thursday?
I deserved it.
Max, why have you had so many accidents?
I don't know. And like I said in the beginning of this press conference, I got really tired of all the questions. So, yeah, I think if I get a few more, I'll headbutt someone.
Max, can only imagine the frustration and emotions at the end of the race for you. Can you just explain what happened between you and Esteban after the race? We saw your altercation. Did he do anything to antagonise you? And will you try and speak to him once sort of emotions have settled down later on?
I don't really have a lot to comment on that, except that he was being a pussy.
Okay, next one, please.
Okay, Rodrigo França. If you could go back again, would you have the same response? Do you regret your response?
No, not really, because I was after an apology and I got a bit of a different response. And, you know, we are all emotional and, you know, just at the time I lost the victory. So I think from my side, I was really calm. What do you expect me to do? Like shake his hand? Like, thank you very much for being second instead of first? I think it's quite a normal response.
Sebastian and Kimi, what are your thoughts on what happened between these two drivers in Brazil?
We can go. Now?
Now, I've got a question for both you and Lewis now. There's been a lot of talk about what happened on the opening lap at Silverstone.
If you two end up wheel to wheel after the start tomorrow,
Now, can we just already stop about this? Because we had so many questions about this. It's just ridiculous, honestly. Honestly, the whole Thursday, we've been answering this all the time. So can we just stop about it, please?
Okay.
We are racers, we will race. And of course, we're going to race hard, but fair. So
Okay.
we just
Hard,
keep
but
pushing each other.
Lewis, anything from you? Okay.